Their common sense was we don't have to spend $5 billion on a wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waste of money. But now we're spending
Okay, tell 'em I'll be right with them. Go ahead.
150 billion. So just I was our listeners to say, hey, where is the common sense on that? And if you're a senior out there and you're listening, think about what we're talking about. You've worked your entire life, most likely 40 years of
I
paying
agree.
taxes.
I agree.
After 65, should be eliminated.
Looky. We have a senior on the line, 76, 77-year-old Seth Grossman. He's going to love me for this one. And an attorney, and has run for office, political office, and is on the air all over South Jersey. Do you want to make some common sense for us, Seth Grossman? We want to go in the hallway and leave you be. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, and of course, I formed this group, libertyandprosperity.com, about 20 years ago.
Yep.
And one of the first things that struck me, we had a radio program maybe 20, 25 years ago, and we had some high school students on there. And for some reason, the topic came in where either I or a listener mentioned the word Yankee ingenuity. Because you and I growing up, and our parents and our grandparents,
Yep.
Americans had a reputation for being smart. Americans had a reputation for having common sense. We were known all over the world for our Yankee ingenuity.
Yes, sir.
In World War II, there are all sorts of stories about these farmers who fixed Jeeps with baling wire, by just sizing up situations and fixing them. And yet these high school students about 20, 25 years ago had never heard the term Yankee ingenuity in their life.
Wow.
And that's when I realized that there's something fundamentally wrong. And why did Americans have common sense? A lot of people used to write about it.
Yep.
Because Americans at one time were free to make the most important decisions in their lives. Farmers could decide what to plant, when to plant. Politicians could decide to do this thing or that thing.
Decision makers. That's what they were. Is that what you're telling me? Decision makers.
And when you made a decision, it affected your life. And if you made a good decision, you benefited from it. And if you made a bad decision, there were consequences that hurt you. What we have done during the past 50 or 60 years is you can make smart decisions and you're punished with higher taxes or you're in violation of this regulation or that regulation. We have so many rules in government that almost every successful person is in violation of something. And whether you succeed or fail doesn't depend on whether you make good decisions or bad decisions.
Yep.
It depends on whether you have a friend in the government or a friend in politics or this or that. And you could have no qualifications and do everything wrong. But if you're part of the right ethnic group or right politically correct victim group, you will be rewarded or promoted anyway.
Yeah.
So when you have a world where you can make bad decisions and get rewarded and make good decisions and be punished. By the way, the guy who wrote The Big Short, I forget, Michael, whatever it was, he said, how could we expect people to make smart decisions about money if you get filthy rich by making stupid decisions about money? So that's the heart of it. And we've got to bring back an America where people are accountable for their actions.
How? Tell me how, Seth. How?
Well, you enforce the laws. If you commit a crime, you go to jail. If you go to jail, you get punished. Right now, we have Governor Murphy in New Jersey just released, about 98 dangerous convicted criminals?
Yep.
Why? You go into the CVS store, the Rite Aid store, or and you find out all your anything you want to buy is locked up in glass shelves, and you have to ask the clerk to take time away from the register to come get it for you. Why? Because people steal, and there's no consequences for stealing.
Seth, let me see. Great. I want to play something because you're onto something with me. Can we, Kirk, pull up Kennedy? Can we get, not to the first clip, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana was interviewing judicial nominee Sarah Russell on this topic. Can we pull that up? And maybe I could get your and Pac-Man's position after the clip. Go ahead, my friend. Listen to this, Seth.
Ms. Russell sent a letter to the governor of Connecticut during the pandemic.
Judicial nominee here, remember.
Right.
Here's what she said. quote, as they stand, prisons and jails are detrimental to public health and human rights and disproportionately harm marginalized communities, including Black, brown, indigenous, and other communities of color.
That's all I need to hear, Kirk. I've heard enough. Go ahead, Seth. How do you like that? Somebody that's being nominated for a judge position is reiterating and over saying the same thing. Do away with jails. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, and of course, in Atlantic City, the big crisis is we don't have a single supermarket anywhere in Atlantic City. And we used to have like 6 of them. And the reason is simple, because no supermarket could make money in Atlantic City because there's so much theft.
Unbelievable.
And so the people in the community, the so-called marginalized community, the reason they're marginalized is because of the criminals are, closing down all the businesses and robbing people who try to maintain their houses. And so,
what a point, Seth. What a point. Yeah. People's lives have to be misdirected because of this. I never heard anything like this, Seth.
Right, and we keep forgetting that mercy for the criminal is cruelty to the innocent. We keep forgetting those basic common sense things. But listen, I called in for a specific point. And
go ahead. We're up against the break. We have 3 minutes. Go ahead. Give it to me, my friend.
Well, we always complain about our major institution, Red Cross, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, being hijacked by leftists who then turn these institutions against us. Within the Jewish community, it's the same way. The largest Jewish group in the world is called the World Zionist Congress. Every 5 years, they have online elections. Today is the last day to vote for this year to pick 163 delegates from America. And once again, the left is hijacking that election because ordinary people don't know anything about it.
Yep.
And so the organized leftists will take over this great organization. So I urge anyone listening to go to online and click this website. It's called votezoacoalition.com or rather .org. Votezoacoalition.org. It'll explain the election. It'll explain why anyone who's Jewish who lives in America pays a $5 registration fee, which is not a profit center, just pays for the cost of the election.
Yes.
You could vote in that thing and vote for a common sense coalition, which is actually led by Mort Klein of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I'm a part of it. And I hope people will just remember vote Z as in Zionist OA, Organization of America, vote ZOAcoalition.com. Follow the instructions and vote for that slate number 15. It's an Israeli election. Nobody's name is on the ballot. Just number 15, vote ZOA Coalition. And that's an important message because it's a low turnout election. If we have 25 people listening who do that to the program right now, you could actually tip this election.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we have more than that listening to the Barry Sable Show. Before I leave you go, because we're up against the break, 30 seconds. Wildfires in Israel. Clue me in.
Well, the left and the radical Muslims found a great weapon. The whole Middle East is desert except the Jews planted trees in Israel, and they're using fires as a weapon in the war, and yet not one major TV network reported a word about those fires, which just shows how they control the electorate. It's not what they giving false information, but major stories don't get any coverage. And by the way, the leftists won the election in Canada, and we almost have a Gaza Strip on our northern border. If Canada gets as radical as Gaza, which could happen, they'll be setting fires all over the northern part of the United States. So it's a weapon.
Sad.
It's something we have to worry about, and no one knows about it if the news doesn't report it.
Seth Grossman, libertyandprosperity.com. We thank you, like always. Don't make yourself a stranger. So informative and somebody that's in my heart. We are up against the break. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Having fun in studio with Steve Pacman. Don't leave us. See you on the other side of the break.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Get ready for
Your workouts will.
Stay tuned for
Are you tired of?
You can skip a lot of things in life, but not everything. With Citizens, get the advice and tools you need to financially handle all of life's unskippable moments. So you're ready for your best friend's wedding, a broken down car, your kid getting into their dream school, and every expense in between. From making a plan to staying on track, make sense of your money with Citizens. Get started at citizensbank.com/made-ready.
Team Foster raises money to provide life-saving service dogs to injured and disabled veterans. Show up for the veteran community at Team Foster's Rough Ride Philly event. This 24-hour spin event starts at 10 a.m. on May 31st at the 23rd Street Armory. Part competition and part festival. You can ride for 15 minutes or 5 hours. Join or create a team for Rough Ride Philly at roughride.org. That's roughride.org.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Hey, Hatboro. Tell your smart speaker deployed. 1210 WPHT.
You are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. In studio with me, my right hand, Sundance, and if I'm Butch, he's it. We are live 1210 WPHT. All right, Pac-Man, what's on your mind? Go ahead.
Well, first off, what's on my mind is that shirt you were wearing today. It is, we're on YouTube. Why don't you turn around real quick so they could see the back of it? Just watch it. There you go. That is looking good. Uncle Barry, number 32. I love it. And that is a salute to service. Yes. So that's all, of course, for our military members. Yes. And once we go through some of these other clips, too, I'm going to give you an absolute statistic on our military members that's really going to probably make you upset. But you're looking dapper, man.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
looking dapper.
Listen, everything about this show makes me upset because I don't like what's happening. Kurt, let's pull up the clip about mayors this morning. Get a load of this, Pac-Man. Go ahead.
In the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
$79 million!
Mayor Adams, same question. How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wood, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Isn't that beautiful, Pac-Man? They don't have a number in Boston, and I'm, like a lot of other people, paying outrageous taxes. Go ahead, comment to that, sir.
First off, now I'm upset. So,
of course.
Thanks
How can you not be upset?
Thanks a lot, Uncle Barry. First and foremost, the New York number, almost 7 billion. That's billion. We're not talking million. We're not talking 700 million. It's billion.
Could have built the whole wall back then, and they complain about that, but they're not complaining about this.
And that's why. And in New York City, homeless problems, a lot of homeless veterans there. Crime is out of control. Do you know how many police officers they could have hired for $7 billion? Do you know the infrastructure they could have fixed? They could have fixed the subways. They could have done everything. But we spent $7 billion in 1 year in New York City on illegal immigrants.
Was housing these people in hotels. What kind of hotel owners made what kind of money? What kind of scam was that? This wasn't for freebie. If they spent billions of dollars, that means people that were housing these illegals got paid. I mean, come on, Pac-Man. This is nonsense. This is all the undercurrent of what's been happening in America. I'm sick of it.
Well, I'm sick of it too. And there's no common sense. Elon Musk, the richest, smartest man in the world, he said the left is kind to criminals and cruel to its victims. We are a victim. Wow. You are a victim. What you just spent in taxes this year, you are a victim.
Yep.
Where is that money going? In New York City alone. Just amazing, $7 billion. So think about that. In New York City, they're housing them in luxury hotels, probably paying the highest rates possible. Where's the accountability? How come it's only two guys on Sunday morning screaming at a microphone doing this? We need more people questioning of what's happening. Don't worry about being canceled. You were on the right side of history if you're starting to question this.
Yep.
It's a big problem, and it's not fair to our citizens and our society that Thomas Paine talked about all those years ago. We started a revolution over taxation without representation.
Yep.
How are we?
We're back to that again.
Yeah. How is that? It's not possible.
I want to read you something on the chat line. Wildfires in Israel is so strange, isn't it? Yes, they have trees. Yes, I was there. As you know, I went to Israel many times to purchase diamonds, and I spent some lovely times in Israel. Unforgettable to go to the Dead Sea, to go to Masada. So much. And what has happened in the desert is these people grew crops and trees in the desert. It's a phenomenon to see if you ever get an opportunity. I'm sure Egypt, to see the pyramids and things of that nature. The Middle East is littered with great things to see. You have to go to Israel and see it. It's really phenomenal. Kurt, I want to pull up, let's pull up clip 2. Why don't we try this one, Pac-Man? You're going to love this. How can I, as a single guy, conduct myself appropriately if I can't figure out what a woman is? Go ahead. Pull it up for me, sir.
Cross-dresser part 2.
Like, how you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
This is a man he's talking to.
I know because they tell me. So here was the...
You need them to tell you what you are?
Women. Yes. I trust the opinions of the women around me.
And if most women...
It's incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say, I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
You know that you're a woman.
My
Yes.
Lord. Listen, hold on. Hold that clip. Listen, sir, drop your drawers. I'll tell you in 2 seconds if you're a woman or a man. You tell me you're a woman? Let me see. And are you bikini wax, by the way? Go ahead, Kurt. Play it. Go play it again.
So gender is a social thing. It only
I don't
makes
want to hear
sense.
that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
Am I really listening to this nonsense? Go ahead, Kirk. Play the end.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women...
I'm walking amongst this. I heard enough of that. Let's play the next clip about a female and what a woman is. Can we play that, please?
Can you have a penis and be a woman?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah. That's hot.
All right. I had enough of that, too. Listen, guys, whoever's listening to this show, tell me how we have gotten this far off a track. We have people that on both sides of the fence, males and females, telling us what a man can have a child and I'm a woman if I have a pee-pee. What is happening, Pac-Man? Please tell me, please.
I don't know. It's common sense is out the window. I'm going to define a woman for you. So
Go ahead.
Pretty simple. I just looked it up real quick. It's a noun. It's an adult female human. That's simple.
How about chromosomes? X, Y, and Y, and whatever else may be. Does anybody think about the genetics?
I don't think so. So I took it a step further then. After I defined what a woman was, I looked up female because it says it's an adult female human. And female is pretty easy too, opposite of male, and it has everything to do with reproduction, childbearing, as that's where the origins of the name female came from. It's pretty cut and dry. And listen, we talked about this before. In this country, we have great freedoms. With great freedoms come responsibility. This guy or whatever, he can identify as a woman, but it doesn't make him a woman. We don't have to accept that he's a woman, but I will fight forever to say that, yes, if he wants to identify as a woman, he could do that. But he's not entitled to walk into a woman's locker room.
Listen, Pac-Man, not to be a little off the charts, I pulled up clips, and then I listened to a clip, and I just didn't feel comfortable playing it. But I'm going to tell you, they asked some lady, can a man give birth? And the lady said, yeah, through the butt. And it's called a butt baby. I quit. Now I'm done. I have had enough. A butt baby. I mean, come on, man. These are people that are voting. This is problematic for this country. This country's fabric has changed. Next week, maybe I'll have opportunity to go on. I'm involved in a construction project, and I could tell you stories like you cannot believe. The United States of America is in trouble. I'm sorry. If it's negative, hear it, understand it, and do something about it. Pac-Man, go ahead.
How you do something about it is you get involved. Don't stay quiet anymore, because this is what happened. We let it go. Just let them talk.
Yep.
You know, we don't want to be canceled. We don't want anything. That's fine. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. I will fight to the death to keep the freedoms that we have. You can definitely identify as a woman, but that does not make you a woman.
Of course not.
It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that.
Not.
And then we also, how come we say, well, they identify as a woman, they're allowed to go in a women's locker room. Where are the rights? Where are the people standing up for our young girls in sports where they're competing against men? Riley Gaines just posted this morning, a male, 19 years old, just blew through every woman's record at whatever he was competing at. She showed a picture of him. That was a 19-year-old male. It was not a woman. Didn't look like a woman, doesn't have the parts of a woman. It's uncalled for, it's unfair, and common sense in this country has to dictate to say, I'm sorry, you can't compete with women. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Kurt, I want to thank you for pulling up those clips. You've given me the runs this morning. I need some kale pectate or something. Let's take a break. I'm on my way to the bathroom. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio, 1210 WPHT. Unbelievable stuff. See you on the other side.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here. If you were misled or lied to in any way when buying a timeshare, right now is your wake-up call. With the tariffs, economy tanking, and inflation rising, you might need to ask yourself this question. Is owning a timeshare a good idea? With all the economic uncertainty, you need to protect yourself and your family. Don't look back and say, if I'd have only got rid of that stupid timeshare they lied to me about. It's time to stop thinking about canceling your timeshare and finally get rid of it and be smart with your money. At Wesley Financial Group, we've saved 48,000 families an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare permanently or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040. 800-854-4040.
At Kitchen Magic, we believe the heart of your home deserves American-made quality you can trust. That's why we manufacture all of our products right here in Nazareth, PA, so you won't face shipping delays or tariff surprises. As a local family-owned company, we are proud to offer reliable service and custom kitchen remodeling you can count on. And this May only, enjoy up to 30% off your dream kitchen. Visit kitchenmagic.com and schedule your free design consultation today.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats? Or the joy of early bedtime? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Yes, indeedy, we are surely back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. I hope you're having fun today, laughing a little bit, because this is serious stuff, gang. But nevertheless, why don't we, Kirk, pull up our last clip. Denise Souza, what a clip this is. Go ahead. Can we play that, sir? And then I'll get this from you, Pac-Man, on the other side. Go ahead, Kirk. Go ahead. We need a few minutes. All right, Pac-Man. While we're waiting for Kirk.
How much money?
Let me hit you with this one. Losers quit when they fail. Winners fail until they succeed. You need to hear that again, son. You look like you're missing. All right, pass on that one. The people out there heard it. Let me give you one. Another one. True ignorance is not the absence of knowledge, but the refusal to acquire it. You're stumped again. No problem. I'll hit you with another one. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm.
Now,
anybody out there get that?
I get that one.
Tell me.
I get that one.
Tell me.
Well, listen, first and foremost in this country, we were up against unbelievable odds, a lot of failures, and we keep succeeding. And what has happened over, I would say, the last 4 years, that was failure. That was complete failure. But we pushed on, and we're succeeding now. And as President Trump would say, we didn't need legislation. We didn't need to reinvent the wheel.
No.
We just needed a new president, a new leader. And he was right with that. We talk about the illegal immigration. Well, now, we're down to nothing. We have no one coming into the country illegally compared to the 30 million a year. And all it took was to close the door, to actually enforce the laws.
You remind me of something. I spoke to Chris Clem, who has been on this show numerous times. Incidentally, I have him slated for next Sunday, a must listen to. He was senior advisor under Robert Kennedy Jr. in this administration. Wow. I'm hoping to keep him on the air for an hour with us. So I don't want anybody to think next Sunday we're weaker. We're stronger, Pac-Man. We do have the clip. All right, so let's try that now, Kirk. Let me play this for you, Pac-Man, and get your point of view on the other side. Go ahead, my friend.
Let's pause to digest this.
5.5 million illegal aliens got Social Security numbers. Whoa. Because the Democrats have been assuring us illegal aliens can't vote. But yeah, even if we give them driver's licenses, that's just going to allow them to function in our society. They pay taxes, but they don't affect the electoral outcomes. Well, as it turns out, they do. 5.5 million illegals have gotten Social Security cards. Some of these aliens are registered to vote, and some have already voted in U.S. elections. So what's happening is Doge is pulling the names of all these illegals who have voted and referring it to Homeland Security, which this is the.
That's good enough for me, Kirk. Your side of the ledger. Go ahead, Pac-Man. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, I'm still getting over the butt baby statement. That one's.
We might get thrown off the air for that, Kirk. I don't know. Go ahead. That's what I listen. It's a clip. It's out there. You could Google it. You could YouTube it. I nearly fell out when I heard that. But go ahead. Let's talk about the news. Go ahead. In his statement.
Oh boy,
That's funny.
It's gonna take me a minute to get back in.
Yeah.
He's spot on. First and foremost, his argument, they say they pay taxes. I have the number here. So illegal immigrants, I'm going to say this was actually, I have the 2023 number. So they pay $32 billion in tax contributions that they can add. But the reality is, if they didn't pay the $32 billion, we would have spent $182 billion on them. Then that was $116 billion in 2017, which is now $160 billion.
But let me take you to a point, which is great points. What happens in most cases, I see it, landscaping, construction, home care. A lot of these illegals are taking money out of our economy, whether they're paying taxes or getting paid off the books, and they're sending money back home. They have families that they have to take care of. As you know, I've been to Brazil 30 times. Someone works for a month. They make $300 or $400 a month. And I'm telling you, that's the fact, administratively or construction or other things of that nature. So why wouldn't everybody want to come to America? That's what's happening here. The allegiance of these people is not to America. It's to their own countries. And it's no different, like I mentioned last week, Pac-Man. If you and I went to Italy and we lived the rest of our life there, we're always going to be Americans, and our allegiance is to America. It's the same thing with these people. So this is a big dilemma. As I always say, the fabric of America is changing, and it has. And here's another point where now we have people that don't even have citizenship in this country that are voting. Could you go vote in China or Russia or Brazil or anywhere else? I would say the answer is no, Pac-Man.
No. So, we always talk about voter ID. Actually, we need voter IQ test, I personally think. And there's lots of people out there that would say, well, if someone lives in, they can vote in municipalities, they can vote even in a state, a state election if they're not U.S. citizens. Yes. No. One of the rights to vote, one of our rights is a privilege to vote. And there's no other country that I know of that allows you to walk in and be illegal and then vote in their elections. You're going to change. You're going to control our government then from the outside. And if we allow this to happen, which Obama did when he sent a lot of what they sent into Michigan, I think it was, where they have this high rate of wherever Omar is from, and that's the problem. And they voted, and now they're trying to change our government from within. You have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. It's plain and simple. It's common sense. Yep. It's common sense. You can't have anyone that's not a U.S. citizen voting in any election.
Well, here's my question to you. I propose, is there common sense existing in America today? You've got exactly 20 seconds to wrap up before we say goodbye. Go ahead, my friend.
All the research I did this week, I didn't find any common sense in our government whatsoever. Yeah, it's really scary when we're spending more on illegal immigrants than we are on disabled veterans by $20 billion a year. Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, how can our future be bright? How could it be shiny? I asked you this a few weeks ago. What do we have to look forward to if we don't have common sense? Oh, man, is that it, Kirk? Oh, my Lord. What a great show today. I hope people really enjoyed. It was simple, common sense. Let's look for it. Thanks to Pac-Man for joining me this morning. Delaware Valley on your busy Sunday. Grateful to you for spending some time with us. You have been listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always have a great week, a healthy week, and a safe week. And we will see you next weekend with Chris Clem. Must show to listen to. Thanks for always being there. Pac-Man, I appreciate you.
Natural disasters, politics, love, relationships, ambitions, and struggles. Add in social media, and we get a concoction that affects our mental health. But what can you do about it?